Topic 3.4, Visual Perception. Attention, AP Psychology students. Have you ever looked at a drawing and wondered if it was a rabbit or a duck? Or stared at an image and saw it switch from an old woman to a young lady? Welcome to the world of visual perception. Understanding how we make sense of what we see is crucial for your AP test and life in general. Let's dive deep into this topic and set you on the path to ace that AP test. From our previous discussions, we know that our eyes capture light waves and turn them into neural impulses, the basic building blocks of bottom-up processing. However, making sense of these impulses is where things get really interesting. Enter top-down processing. Perceptual organization. In order to comprehend the environment, our brain performs a magical act. It organizes visual data into coherent images. Form perception. Ever heard of Gestalts? Early 20th century German psychologists introduced us to the idea that our brain organizes sensations into wholes or gestalts. We don't passively receive information. Instead, we construct our perceptions. Figure ground is foundational. We either see an object or its background, but not both simultaneously. Take a simple black and white image. If black forms the background, you see a white object, and vice versa. Group principles guide our visual organization. Similarity. League of Legends players wearing the same jersey are on the same team. Proximity. Players sitting close together belong to one group. Continuity. We love smooth patterns, not jerky ones. Closure. Ever filled gaps in a dotted picture in your mind? That's closure. Connectedness. Uniform and linked objects, they're one unit. Depth perception enables us to see the world in 3 dimensions. Avoiding a fall down the stairs? Thank depth perception. Here's how we achieve it. Monocular cues are accessible to one eye. Relative height. Higher objects seem further away. Relative size. 2 same-sized objects. The closer one seems bigger. Interposition. An object covering another appears closer. Relative motion. Moving in a car, objects seem to move in the opposite direction. Linear perspective. Ever notice train tracks seem to meet in the distance? That's this cue. Light and shadow. Shadows give depth to flat images. Binocular cues are a 2-eyed game. Retinal disparity. Due to the distance between our eyes, each retina receives a slightly different image. The more different they are, the closer the object. Motion perception is our superpower. A big image suddenly zooming in, it's approaching. And then there's stroboscopic movement. Remember those flip books? Rapidly changing images create the illusion of motion. And the phi phenomenon? Blinking lights one after another? That's it making you think there's movement, like on the loading screen on a cell phone. Perceptual constancy makes sure our world doesn't look weird. Regardless of angles, distance, or lighting, we perceive. Color constancy, an apple always looks red. Brightness constancy, snow is white, be it noon or evening. Shape constancy, a door looks rectangular, whether open or closed. And size constancy, objects seem the same size regardless of distance. Lastly, we have perceptual adaptation. New glasses making the world seem odd? Give it a day or two, and everything will normalize. This ability lets us adjust to new visual data quickly. But here's the kicker. Top-down processing not only helps us make sense of the world, but also makes us prone to illusions. Our brain sometimes fills in gaps or relies on past experiences, leading us astray. Magic tricks, optical illusions, and even certain advertising techniques exploit this vulnerability. Therefore, illusions are not merely errors in perception, but a testament to the brain's active role in interpreting the world. Now to wrap things up with a twist. Did you know that many of the optical illusions we're fascinated by actually have their roots in survival mechanisms? For instance, the brain's emphasis on recognizing faces quickly can explain why we sometimes see faces in inanimate objects or patterns. What you might have thought was a quirk in human perception might have once been the difference between life and death. Now, with this knowledge under your belt, you're not just one step closer to acing your AP test, but you're also more attuned to the marvels of the human mind.